In hindsight, it would have been more within the spirit of my rule set to have just used team parties to appease Marshall, the manager, until his contract ran out, but I didn't think about that until after I promised I was going to fire Rees. So, I've decided to make some amendments to my rule set to cover that situation in the future. We are in fact allowed to fire staff if the manager requests us, but we can't do the same for players because we are able to sell them, and Fust must attempt to sell them instead. Our more immediate concern here is that Ginster, he's already pissed with Behrens, and it hasn't even been 4 months. But on the other hand, it's not like Behrens was that important. We're getting 2 meetups with players in 1 turn. This is for Guden, and as opposed to Behrens, which I'm still on the fence on, Oldenburg doesn't like Guden either, so we could simply loan out Guden too, but I think given that it's both Oldenburg and Emmerts, I don't think kicking the can down the road is going to work here. I would have liked to have loaned out Behrens, honestly, but we were not given the option. And if we do sell Behrens, because his valuation hasn't been updated yet, doesn't update until the season after you promote someone from the youth player list, we're not going to get any money from him like we may be able to from Guden. However, I do have the option to loan out Guden anyway. We'll see what teams in the market for players decide to do here. I think making loans an option will give us a better chance of finding a taker. But I don't know if we'll necessarily get any offers for these 2 players for a while, because we didn't receive any transfer offers, period, last winter break. Meanwhile, I thought we were going to get Limpatner back this turn, but we didn't, so we are going up against Aylin without our primary captain. Now, that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but remember, we are... Oh, what a shot, Hafez! Didn't know that our stalwart defensive veteran could curl it like Juinho. But yeah, we're also missing Stuckenschmidt for a couple more weeks. Could be a little bit leaky down the wings. This has been a very nervous first half, and that was a 3-header. By first half, I meant second, and there's a... Oh, it's in the back of the net. I thought we smothered it, but we didn't. This is what happened in the end. 3 players all came at it in once, and that was very unlucky for it to end up going in the back. Oh, and now they're doing another set play, and my players aren't doing anything. There we go. But on a more positive note, we have now pleased our forwards by transfer listing our midfielders. Now, one good thing that I figured out recently is that youth players do in fact grow in the academy, even though the player improvements thing does not show anything. Adania could be a good replacement for Behrens because we need another left back to act as Marshall's backup. Limpatner's recovered from his injury a little bit later than I expected. It took another 2 turns after the game that I thought he might be back for. Alright, Aylin was still a decent opponent, but between Paderborn and CJ, we really should be getting 6 points for the next 2 games. Not happy with that first half at all. We were good for possession, but we didn't get a single shot. Oh, what is our man doing there? Okay, he does get the ball eventually, but he made that a lot tougher on himself than he had needed to. Oh, that was really close, and instead we've given up a foul. Oh, and that might put to rest our chances of winning this match, even though we've been dominating. Baumgart gets set off. Oh, and that was it. We couldn't score against Paderborn. We're just giving up points, even in fixtures that we really should be winning. I don't want to dwell on it. Let's just get down to finally getting revenge on Siege and hopefully. Stuckenschmidt was supposed to be back by now. I'm going to need to rest him for another turn. But I'm going to have to at least make minor tweaks to the tactic because this clearly isn't working, and I have to set some player roles too. I don't think Marshall should be threatening to cut in. I think he needs to stay back more often. Lynn Partner, you're playing on the wing, so you become a winger. Moving was working better for Ginster before, so I'm going to have him go back to moving play style. Oh, and there's a penalty, and this is Ginster's last chance to save his penalty kicking duties. If he misses again, I'm giving it to Hafez. But he makes no mistake of it. In fairness, it was a questionable penalty call against Lynn Patner in the first place, but it's not like we didn't deserve to be ahead. Look at those stats. Oh, Ludwig with the rebound, and that will put this game to bed. And that's the return of something we haven't seen in a while, the Gab. Oh, Ryan's able to get on the scoreboard now. Fed a good ball from Emmert. Oh, but even when we're mogging Siegen, we can't go a game without conceding one to them. Not to worry. 3 competition points. And here's Stuckenschmidt. He probably could have stopped that goal Siegen scored. He does play on the right wing, and they attacked from, well, it's their left, our right. And as I predicted, we didn't receive any transfer offers in November. We still have a couple of months that we can potentially get them for our 2 listed players. But now we get back to the slightly harder games. Yeah, Dresden here is going to be the real test of our strategy. Could also be a shootout. They're going max attack themselves. Oh, but Stuckenschmidt might not be match fit because he was wandering all over the place instead of stopping that attack. Oh no, Kruger, it was right at you. How did you spill it? That should never have gone in, but it has. And now they've made it 2 just like that because my defense decided to play a stupid offside trap and not actually catch anyone offside. This has to be a good one for Lynn Partner. Oh, and it's not. It doesn't even get anything out of it in the end. Oh, and we're going to lose Ginster for the next match too. But that is a very soft red. They were battling for the ball in the box. Goal scoring opportunity. So right after what I thought was going to be a confidence boosting win, we get slapped right back down below 500. This could have been a month where we won 4 matches, and instead, today the role of nowhere will be played by 12th position in the league at 11 points off of promotion. It's not happening. So this month we actually have cup competition. We've got a somewhat favourable draw. It's the champions of the 2nd division from last season. We've got to set up a ticket price. Are we even playing at home? I don't think we are, but 18 is the point where it says we'll fill most of the seats versus it being half full. And just going to take a look at the sales data of our new merch. Yeah, they should sell out, possibly exception of the t-shirt, but I can just leave them for the rest of the season. German Prime Cup. If we can get at least 1 round in, we'll get some prize money. But if we do win this first match against Munich, we're running straight into Bayern. It's a seeded cup draw, so we know who we'd be facing, and we would be screwed. Oh, Ginster's in on goal, and it's turned away. Oh, he's in again, though. And this time, Ryan is going to get the rebound. Oh, at least that should have been a clean tackle, but Marshall made this a very aggressive move that made it look worse than it was, and yeah, the ref had to call a foul, but we defused it. So we're still hanging on to a 1-0 lead into the second half here, and by the way, if you're wondering why Ginster's able to play after receiving a red card, That was a league red. This is the cup, separate competition. He'll serve his suspension in the next league game. That... Oh, Hafez has made that more dangerous than it really needs to be, but at least it's out. And now it's out for good. We win. We don't have to go to extra time right before our league match. And yeah, it is Bayern we're playing. They took care of Rostock pretty routinely. Ha! Suck it, arse. Lost to Bremen. Ah, that's unfortunate. Schmidt here. Big beef tank. Good ability. Bad tactical fitness for the style we're currently playing. And we have to be picky about our youths because we don't have a lot of 3 slots. I think 4-3-3 will help mask the fact that we don't have a lot of good strikers without Ginster. Even so, we are still staring down the barrel of a very tough game. Look at this guy. How is he in the second league? Still, he is just one guy. One guy who can single-handedly win the match, but so far he hasn't done it, and we may get a chance late in the half. Why did you dribble straight into the captain? Especially when we consider that that's the guy. He's 16 years old and they made him captain. Oh. Oh, that was a really... Oh, Ryan didn't get onto it. So we're going to have to keep our eye on Jay Egner throughout this playthrough. He could be one of the uber regens that show up for many of the main countries. In light of how good Gladbach are, that's a draw that I'm not actually that upset over. Sure, it doesn't help us at all in trying to finish in the top 6 or so and salvaging something, but I've already given up on this season being a good one. We just have to get to the end of it, regroup next season. New goal for the season, catch up to AS Leipzig in the league, but even they are doing pretty good. They're 6th, we're 12th. Need to start winning some of these 50-50 games. Oh, that should be onside. There was a defender lagging behind. Ah, but another poor finish. No mistake there, though. The Gab is very reliable when we can actually cross it accurately. Oh, that was really bad. Stuckhench manages to get hold of it. I made all defensive substitutions too, but crucially, neither of the wings. They are pretty beaten up at this point. Oh, okay. He tried to switch play there, and it went out for a goal kick. He overhit it. We get the win. Oh, okay. Here we go. It's Behrens. It's only 100,000. But he was only worth 100,000 and we need to sell him to appease Ginster, so sadly we're saying goodbye to Behrens. I can't ask for any more. I almost never show the newspaper on this game because it's rare that anything immediately relevant shows up, but I have never seen that headline before. Of course, if we're not careful here, we could be losing 6-0 ourselves. But, of course, we're never careful. Maximum attack always. Who you running? Mikkel Ballack, Zeraberto, Philip Lahm, Sagnol. Yeah, they scored immediately, Philip Lahm. And being the biggest club in Germany, they've also got the super big stadium. 30 minutes in, and this is the first reprieve we've had all match. And it's very short-lived. I look at this pace of Mackay. He's way out ahead of my defenders, and he's put it in. And we haven't been able to make any inroads into that deficit. We've been holding on for dear life so far just to not make it 3. We've got maybe one more chance up this end to do something. No, that's no good. And that's the final whistle. If we have to play a team like that twice a year once we promote, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that we're staying down in 2nd Division for a 3rd season. They just had so much speed. You know, it would have been nice to have picked up some of the gate receipts too, but they all go to the home team in Elmast. We don't get to see any of that 100,000 attendance money. So Berens is on his way out, which means Adonir is probably coming up. And by probably, I mean definitely. We do have a few too many defensive players right now, but he can also play down the left wing. So he's basically Berens, but well, hopefully without the immediate chemistry issue with Ginster, who is still one of our most valued players. Last game before the winter break actually starts the second half of the season. We have Berghausen again. Oh, that's a bad start. Oh, I thought it was going to go wide, but it's tucked into the left-hand side. I don't know if we even had a chance to touch. Oh, Ludwig's equalised. And that means both teams scored a goal off their kickoff without the other team getting a chance to touch the ball. That's very rare in Elmast. Oh, it's probably a semi-clean tackle. Oh, well, that settles it, I guess. The ball doesn't lie, and it says our penalty was not valid. Oh, good save, Geeson. That would have been a tragedy if after all of that we went down 2-1 instead. Oh, and now Ginster is... Oh, but he's running out of pace. Oh, that's even more space for Ryan than Ginster had. Oh, he's going to go for the pass. It's off the post. Baumgart manages to get it. Oh. This was also Adonano's first appearance. It did find a place for him in the lineup in the end. That offside probably seals the match. And it does. So for the first time since September, we are above 500. And it's not going to do us a lot of good if Arse keep winning too, but we do have a chance to take 3 points off of them soon. And we're only 8 points off the promotion spots again. Speaking of, it's almost going to be 2008, and that will be next time on Let's Make a Soccer Team. Can we make something of this season yet?